other people I know. So I ask my companies all the time, what can I do to help, right? You're not going to probably do that to Tilray.
I think you have to decide what excites you too. Do you want a quick exit? Are you looking at long-term strategies? And I think that would help to inform sort of your thesis on where you want to invest and how you want to invest, because it should have an element of fun to it, right? You should be excited about it.
I'm definitely excited about investing in local stuff, things that boost my my community, the diversity in the community, because the Massachusetts cannabis industry is something very different to the California cannabis industry, very different to New York. It's going to be very different to Florida. And I think that for me, at least, as somebody who's looking to invest, it would be one of my top priorities to invest in my local community and how my local cannabis community and my local industry is growing. Because I see exactly what you mean already. The big cannabis companies from Canada are already coming in and starting to buy up a lot of local industry. And I would love to continue to see the cannabis industry grow and be one of these locally sourced, really community building kind of industries. When was the last time we had the chance to really invent something new like this?
Right.
So I'm very excited to get investing on it. I really appreciate all of your guidance. I do have one question that I put out to all of my social media followers, and I said, what would you like to ask these expert women? You know, there was a lot of different replies, but basically everybody wants to know, what are you all investing right now?
I love it. Great question.
Jean, why don't you go first?
So I invest in 2 different areas, and now it's been solely cannabis for the last several years. I do invest in the public companies also, which helps me really learn. I am on the razor's edge of knowing who is growing, who is failing, who's buying or merging or consolidating. And that really keeps me very au courant. And then because I'm very involved and support what was just said by both Kim and Laura on the privates under the ArcView umbrella. So we bring in companies to review, and then we decide who should earn our investing dollars. And then in that fund that we have already, we've invested in 12 companies on our way to more than 20 privately held companies. Most of these are early, but not all. So investing in that, and then again, like Kim said, helping them grow and scale, because that's what it's all about. Nothing's more thrilling than investing one's hard-earned money because you believe in the CEO and the team, and then seeing it get traction and prosper. That's pretty exciting. I want that for you, Britt.
Oh, I can't wait.
For me, I'm most interested in publicly held female-led companies. So like Truliev's a good example. And I'm also interested in canopy growth. I like the CPG angle, and I am actually very interested in what they do with celebrities too. I want to see where that goes in this industry.
That's a very interesting angle to take, yeah.
Mine is around ESG, which is environmental, sustainable, and social and governance. So it's a new kind of category. Big companies are really tracking to that. Biden has a 12-point plan to create sustainability as like a forefront and looking at our environment and different things. And my eyes were open to hemp last year. And to me, I had really no knowledge about that plant and what it could do and how it could be a replacement for all kinds of things, plastic, fabrics, materials, building things, housing. And to me, I think that is just a game changer for the planet. And so I'm going to be very active in the hemp industry this year and making investments and looking at opportunities. And it's a long-term play because we need to build the infrastructure to support this next revolution. And I really want to be on the forefront of that. To me, that's important. I have 2 kids, as I mentioned, and, you know, this is their planet too. And I want to make sure it's around and it's a good place to be. So I think hemp's it, and I'm all in.
And now for your latest US cannabis news. Oregon seems to have started a real trend when it decriminalized all drugs last election season. This week, lawmakers in the state of Washington introduced a bill similar to Oregon's that would decriminalize possession of all illicit drugs and expand treatment for people with substance abuse issues. Another major city in Massachusetts has voted to decriminalize the possession of plant-based psychedelics. The Cambridge City Council voted 8-1 this week to decriminalize magic mushrooms after Somerville led the way last month when the City Council voted unanimously to decriminalize all psychedelic plants. A Senate committee in Alabama has passed a bill this week to legalize medical marijuana in the state. If it passes, there would be 20 conditions that would meet the criteria for a medical marijuana card in Alabama, including PTSD, pain, and anxiety. I repeat, this is happening in Alabama. Heading in the complete opposite direction to the rest of the US is the great state of Idaho, where legislatures have just passed a measure to block any kind of marijuana legalization, even if voters were to okay it on a ballot. And as we learned earlier, funding for marijuana companies spiked big time after Biden was sworn into office and Democrats won control of the Senate. North American cannabis companies either closed or announced more than $1.6 billion in capital raises in January alone, according to Marijuana Business Daily. So if you're interested in investing in weed, this is definitely the time to get in on the game if you haven't already. A huge thanks again to our three guests, Kim Kovacs, Laura Toomey, and Jean Sullivan of the ArcView Group. Make sure you check them out online at arcviewgroupventures.com. It's going to be well worth all of our time. I can't wait to see the money we make. Make sure you're subscribed to our podcast wherever you're listening to us right now, because you don't want to miss out on the next few episodes. We're going to be talking about how our DNA can tell us what cannabinoids work best for our bodies. And we're going to have a question and answer episode with our friend, cannabis specialist, Dr. Peter Grinspoon. You can send us your questions for Dr. Grinspoon, anything you want to know about medical marijuana, by messaging us on social media at Different Leaf, and I'm at Brit the British, or you can email us your questions to podcast@differentleaf.com. Make sure you check out differentleaf.com, where you can find 4 issues of our stunning magazine for $20. Thanks as always to our brilliant producer, Andrea Maraskin, and thanks to Homebody for the music.